Hey YouTubers, YouTube techies, Jim from Tech Lovin', down in the basement, in the dungeon, in the frozen north. I was going to show you a few things today. I'm going to try and keep the video as short as possible. Last video, I showed you a couple of tweaks. One was a registry tweak for your NVMe. So it uses NVMe disk.sys instead of disk.sys, and gives you a little more speed on your NVMe. There is a caveat, and the caveat is that it breaks safe boot. There's a fix out there, but it didn't work for me, so probably won't work. I'm sure when Microsoft is ready, they'll come out with that NVMe disk.sys driver for your NVMEs. But I'll just bring you over here and show you. So this was the tweak that I showed you right there. And I'll see if I can put this somewhere so that, yeah, that'll work. So let me grab my mouse here, a different mouse. If you go to your registry, I'll show you how to get there, just in case you're unsure. So, because we did this tweak in PowerShell, right? So we just added these keys to our registry. And you don't want to screw up the registry. But if you want to get into the registry, is that going to go down far enough? No. So in your search bar, down on the bottom, which is right over here where my mouse is, you just click in there and you type regedit. Use the correct keyboard. It's just going to pop up like that, registry editor. Whoops, right here. And you just go run as administrator. You get the user account control come up. You can just press yes to that. So it's in HKey, local machine, system, current control set. Whoop. One sec, I gotta look for myself. Current control set, policies, Microsoft feature management. Okay. Wrong one. So current control set, services. Oh, God, dummy. Policies. So HKey local machine system current control set policies. HKey local machine, system current control set policies. Low system current control set policies. Okay, so we're in the right location. And it would be under policies. I don't have it set on this computer, but we'd have a couple of more keys, Microsoft feature management and overrides. So if overrides was in here, it would be under policies, and then under policies we'd have Microsoft, and then feature management, and then overrides. And then in the right screen, this screen over here, we would have these keys in here, these three keys right here. You can simply just delete those keys, or you can just delete the overrides folder. We'll call it a folder. You can just click on it and hit delete and delete the folder. And go like that and delete the folder. I'm not going to delete this one. And you'll be back to your old driver, which is the disk.sys driver. which is and if I go into Device Manager, that's how you get there, right? You just right click and then you can bring up Device Manager. And you go into your disk drives. And there's my Kingston drive. And I go to Properties. And I go to Driver. And I go to Driver Details. There's the disk.sys driver. This driver would change to NVMe disk.sys driver. But it breaks safe boot. Once you so if you don't use safe boot, I guess you're okay, right? But if you have to use safe boot for like DDU, which is the display driver uninstaller, you're not going to be able to get into safe boot. So until they come out with a fix for safe boot, or until they come out with the driver, maybe don't use it. Only because of that, because it breaks safe boot, doesn't do. And if you try and get into safe boot, it's just going to sit there and not do anything. It's going to come up with an error because it can't find the drive, the NVMe disk.sys driver, to load that driver. And it's not going to load it because it's looking for the disk.sys driver. But once you delete those keys, you delete it from you delete the overrides folder in the registry, then you're going to go back to that the original disk.sys driver. Yeah, and that's it. So that was in the last video. And another thing that was in the last video was removing AI from, let me just put this back to where it was here, switch keyboards. Got to move my coffee. Let's just put this down here back to where it was. There we go. Try and get it back a little bit so we can see more of the screen. Push it down. There we go. Should get it a little more level. Whoop. Screen go blank. There we go. Back again. Shouldn't have that set so low. Anyway, I'm just using a socket 1151 board here that I have on the bench with a, 7th gen processor. I'll show you some other things too. 16 gig of RAM. I just slapped it together and threw this operating system on. And I'll show you what it is here. Let me straighten you out. I just do not like it all crooked, but it seems to be all crooked. Maybe it's me that's crooked. I don't know. Whoop, there's my fingers. Actually, this thing is perfectly straight. It must be my desk that's crooked somehow. I'm going to try and, get you that way a little bit. Maybe push you up a little bit. Sorry about that. Anyway, okay. Let's go here. I'm just going to show you the Win version. Once again, we go down to the search bar, just WINVER. It's going to come up right here. Click on it. So you can see the version that I'm running. Hopefully, bring you a little closer there. So this is the, IoT, Windows 11 IoT Enterprise version, LTSC. And I believe, if I'm correct, that this is the version of Windows, even on Windows 10, you can get the version of Windows 10 that won't stop getting support for till 2030, maybe. You have to check on that to be certain. But yeah, it's a long way down the road. So you can stay on, if you want to go back to Windows 10, which is out of support, you can download this version and install it on your PC and have support for until 2030. I think it's 2030. Somewhere. I think it's another, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's 2030, but I could be wrong. But I know it's it's quite a few years. There's another version of this where you only get support until what, 2028 or something like that. And this version you can get support longer. Windows 10. This one just happens to be Windows 11. I decided I would download the Windows 11 and install this. So that's what I did. Take a vape, take a sip of my coffee. So anyway, this version of Windows, because it's an enterprise version, it doesn't have, you'd have to manually install a lot of Windows features. So it's pretty bare bones and plain. It has no Cortana. It has no AI. So all of that is gone, and I guess a lot of what am I looking for here? A lot of Windows telemetry is gone. So if you want to stay on Windows 10, you could download that version. I know Windows 11 is getting, and I agree with that. I agree 100% on all the backlash Windows 11 is getting. It's very intrusive to your privacy. Pop-ups all the time. You don't get any of that with this. There's no pop-ups. There's nothing. You know, constant pop-ups, just an intrusion on your privacy. Windows recall. There's no Windows recall in here either. Windows recall, taking, you know, screenshots or whatever it does of everything that you do on your PC, which includes your banking, your passwords, the whole 9 yards. That's just not secure. And Microsoft has no, they have no mandate to steal personal information, to take your information all over. It seems to be the wave of the future, where all these tech companies, and maybe that's why they have to build all these super expensive data centers that they're building. I don't understand that, but that's another video as to what's going on there. Although I will say I'm waiting for the crash. I'm waiting for the similar to .com crash, because I was around for that. So and my furnace is kicking in, so it's going to get a little bit louder here because I'm in the basement. That's where the furnace is. Anyway, moving on. A lot of you don't know how to change your background in Windows. Right click on the desktop, go to personalize, go to background, click on background, whatever you want it to be. In this case, I have it as a picture. I'm going to browse my own photos. I'm going to go to my photos directory, which is Tech11, and my wallpapers. And I'm going to scroll down, and I'm going to select a wallpaper. I'm going to select this one right here, choose the picture, and you can close this window, and now we have a new screensaver, or a new background, which is my Tech11 background. That's how much of the screen you aren't seeing. Anyway, yeah, you're not going to see the whole screen. That's just the way it is. This is not Gamers Nexus or Jay's 2 cents. This is Tech11 using my iPad to make videos. Works okay for me. Anyway, so that's how you change your background if you want to change your background. And that, yeah, there's you know, this is what's running in the system tray. I have IQ installed only because I got some new fans. I'm going to show you those that I wanted to try. So IQ is so there's nothing. Whoops, down in the system tray. I'll take you over that way. That's all that's in the system tray, is these three things right here. That's it. Mind you, you gamers and all your Steam stuff, you're going to throw all that in there, but there's nothing else. So there's nothing running in this, which is nothing running in the background. So it's pretty bare OS. I'm sure it would game really well. I'm sure that gaming and your reduction in FPS has a lot to do with AI in Windows right now. This should be the version of Windows they put out with maybe a couple of little tools in there, right? Like Microsoft Paint and stuff like that. I don't think that's in here. I don't know. I've only had this installed for a little bit. Let's go to all. Let's see what's in here. File Explorer, hardware info. I installed those. Microsoft Soda. It has Edge. I'm just running stock Intel graphics on this. Yeah, there's nothing. There's literally nothing. Windows tools. What's in that? Command prompt computer. Yeah, there's not very much in here at all. So it doesn't have Paint. It doesn't have, or whatever Windows program. It doesn't have anything. So if you wanted to game, I would say you could probably game on this really well on this OS because there's not a lot of overhead. Not a lot of shit running in the background. Interesting. So I'll just show you a couple of things. Anyway, I bought these. These are the Corsair IQ fans. RX 120 RGB IQ. So I bought these. So these the IQ Link. I wanted to see how, how difficult they were to install and whatnot. And they were relatively easy. They come with quite a few cables, but, well, not quite a few. They come with a controller. You have a power cable that goes to 6-pin, one of your 6 pins for your graphics card. Doesn't go to the graphics card. It would use that 6-pin that comes apart. It's got SATA no, that's your power. That's what it uses as power. And then it has a USB 2.0 cable. And it has your power cable that goes to the IQ Link, and they all link together, the fans. So you only have the one cable going to the fan, going to one fan, and then they link together. They come with links between the fans, and they're also magnetic too. So they link together. So I'll show you those and what they look like running IQ. So there you are running IQ. That's what I have set. There's your USB 2.0 cable. Yeah, this is the way I have it set up. And I just have it hanging off the side here. There's, whoops, sorry, let me bring it over here. So there's the controller right down there, a white thing. And there's the one cable that runs to the first fan, and then the other 2 fans. Now you won't get anything until you install IQ. So you'll get the first fan that'll have the default RGB, but it won't translate to the other 2 fans until you install IQ. Yeah, so this is just a 70, I don't know, 7600? I don't know what this processor is. It's only a 4-core processor. Yeah, that's it. That's all it is. DR4, but just a 4-core. This is a, H170 Pro motherboard. Just something I had lying on the shelf because I wanted to test some things to see how they would work. And that's what I set up. Anyway. Yeah. Moving on. I'm going to turn you around this way. I'll try to go as slow as possible. This is, I just wanted to show you these because I bought these. I know the light's not great. I'm going to try and get out of it here so that you can see a bit better. Yes. So, yeah, this is, the cooler is a Noctua, and this is a socket 1151. Same as the other one. This is 1151. This is a there's a 96 or a 9700K in here, and yes, this is the cooler that's on it, NH-L9i. But what I wanted to show you was these are, try and get a better picture here. Yes, those are Sodimms, and they are in a regular DIMM adapter. So these are DDR. In this case, this is DDR. Is this 5 or 4? I can't even remember, but I think it's DDR4. Yes, this is DDR4. So I bought some DDR4 adapters and I bought some DDR5 adapters, and yes, they work. So these are SODIMMs. I had a pile of SODIMMs with the price of memory. So if you have SODIMMs, whether it be DDR4 or DDR5, and you have a DDR4 or a DDR5 motherboard, you can actually use these and they will work, and these work. So that was just a little experiment, and I'll show you what they look like here. I'll show you what it, yeah. This is, where are we? This is what they look like when you get them. And the DIMM just snaps in like DDR, like SODIMMs do on your regular laptop motherboard. Just snaps in there and you pop it in and go ahead and boot. I haven't tried the DDR5 ones, but I did obviously try the DDR4, and they work quite well. And there's my screen is off again. I should really fix that. There we are, back to life again. If you want to change that, you can go to, once again, you can do everything from the search bar. Click on the search bar, type edit. Whoops, wrong keyboard. Whoops, no, I wasn't in the search bar. Click, there we go. Edit power plan. All I had to do was type in edit. You click on edit power plan. Brings up here. Turn off the display. Let's go for an hour. Put the computer to sleep. Let's go for never. And you can save changes on that. You've got additional plans here too, although balanced is fine. You don't need, you can change it to ultimate performance. Change your plan settings. Go back to an hour. Never. Save changes. And exit. And there you go. So now so if your monitor's shutting off on you, that's what you can do. That's how you change your backgrounds. You can do everything from the search bar. You're not sure if you have a program, you can start typing the letters and it'll start coming up here. Not difficult to do. So I'm pretty impressed with this OS. Once again, it is it's amazing how you forget your your commands. Well, commands. WinVer. Jeez, that's bad. Yeah. So I'll put you up real close, because there's the version again that I downloaded. But you can get the Windows 10 version of this also. So it's basically designed for offices and servers where they don't need all the bells and whistles. So it doesn't have all the bells and whistles. So you can certainly try that in the Windows 10 environment and see if that's something that you like. I think for gamers, I think it's an excellent OS. I'm going to start pushing it a little bit once I test it some more. So I got to test it some more and see how it performs in gaming. But obviously I can't test it in this because, yeah, I got no graphics card in here. I'm just running off the, I'm sure it'd be pretty crappy. On a 7th gen CPU. Not that there's anything wrong with them, because there isn't. Yeah, I think that's it. I think that's all I got for you for today. On another note, I do want to say something about buying from different companies. I buy a lot of components constantly. I bought from one in Toronto, and well, actually, this is the motherboard sitting right here. That didn't work when I initially got it, but you should have. So I'm wondering what's rattling in the box. And I opened it up. It was a bigger box because the fans were in here also. And the fans I was pretty impressed with. No issues with the fans. I like these fans. These Corsair IQ Link fans. But in the motherboard, I opened the motherboard box and there are screws, everything strewn all over the place. There's no anti-static bag, so the motherboard is not in an anti-static bag. It's just sitting in the motherboard box, which is supposed to be an X570. Is what the motherboard is supposed to be, and there's all kinds of screws and everything just strewn all over the place. They were never in a plastic bag. They were never in anything. They were just, everything was just thrown in there. Let me see. I got a motherboard book for an X99. Kind of weird. Okay. A whole bunch of other stuff. But it was just thrown in there, rattling around. I was surprised that actually the motherboard did not start at first. The battery was completely dead and it should never have been shipped with a battery in it. I put the new battery in, the new 2280 or whatever, not 2280, whatever the battery is called. One sec here. I know I have some batteries. Yeah, 2032, sorry, 2032 battery, and it was completely dead. I changed the battery and then I actually got a post, which was nice. It was great because I have a bunch of 6th and 7th gen CPUs that I can check and see if they work, and then sell them for like $10. But yeah, it comes in, it's a mess in there. Absolutely brutal. This was a company from Toronto. I said, oh my God, I sent them an email. Said, what? Number one. And number two, what shows up is the motherboard I showed you, an Asus H170-Pro. Not what I ordered. So ordered online and not what I ordered. I ordered an X570. That's what I was supposed to get. And I got this instead. So it was like a child packaged it and just threw everything. I had no idea what they were doing. So, and on another note, AliExpress. I buy a lot of components from AliExpress. I don't buy their graphics cards. I don't buy certain things, but I bought CPUs from them and a whole bunch of odd peripherals, like Corsair fan to ARGB connector. And they work, which is amazing. They even have connectors where you can take a SATA plug that has a 2-pin at the back that you can put your reset button into the 2-pin and control your RGB by connecting the RGB fan up to the other end, which is was it a Corsair? I think it was a Corsair in this case. Was a Corsair fan. So yeah, pretty neat stuff. They have some really neat stuff. But the way they package stuff from AliExpress coming from China is amazing. Their products are so well packaged. Now I get mine relatively quick because I buy a lot at one time from AliExpress. If you buy just a few items, you may wait longer, but I've had great success with their shipping. As a matter of fact, this motherboard and fans that I ordered from Toronto, which is 2 provinces away from where I live, I ordered them both at the same time, stuff from AliExpress and stuff from there, and I received my AliExpress order from China faster than I received my order from 2 provinces away. So what does that tell you? And also received it quicker than I received my Newegg order also, which I just received today. So I wouldn't be afraid to buy certain things. I don't buy from AliExpress, but there's a lot of stuff I do buy from AliExpress, and the quality is decent. No different than what you get here, but I tell you, their packaging puts to shame all these like all these Canadian or American companies, puts them to shame. It really does. Even I ordered cases, so I got 4 cases today. Two of the boxes have holes in them, like somebody punched something through them. You know, there's no damage, but still. And this is not, this is not the Purelators and the Canada Posts and whoever else is delivering this stuff. You know, this is the way it's packaged. And AliExpress takes into account that, hey, you know what, it's going a long way. Who knows when it's getting thrown around or whatnot. We're going to package it really well. And they do package it really well. You know, for those North American companies that package really well, kudos to you. But some of it's not very impressive, like this company in Toronto. Not very impressive. Not very impressive at all. As a matter of fact, quite disappointing. And not only that, they send the wrong product. We'll see how they reply. They haven't replied yet. Because I want my X570 motherboard is what I want. I don't want a motherboard from 4 or 5 generations ago. Well, sorry, it's a 7th gen? That's 7, we're on 14th now, so that's 7 generations ago. Thanks very much for that. Not only that, anyway, yeah. Just ridiculous. So how long have we been here? I'm not sure how long we've been. 31 minutes, not bad. We're still rolling along. So, yeah, not very impressive. I'll show you something else I just bought. Because I'm a big fan of 2080s. I like white stuff. So I just bought this 2080. So this is an Asus, right? Republic of Gamers, I believe that's Asus. But I can't get that back far enough away for you to see it, but very nice, very impressive. Works well, I already tested it. And that'll go in one of my lower budget builds, like, 11th gen or Ryzen 5 3600, because I've got a lot of DDR4 for it, so I'm starting to kind of build those again, build the lower end stuff. I just sold a PC that was almost $6,000, so one of my builds probably cost me, probably cost me close to $5,200 for all the components that are in it, but yes. That's what I did. Sorry, I'm just ruffling through some bags here, because I got more stuff on what the heck have I got here? More AliExpress stuff. AM5 secure frames for your CPU. So I really like those, both Intel and AMD. Well, I guess I put that in a row. That should be in that bag. Yeah, I have to enter all this into my database, which I haven't done yet, so I need to get that done. My AliExpress orders. So anyway, yeah, that's about all I got for you today. Let's close this down. So if you want to try that OS, download it, give it a shot, and we'll see you next time. This is Jim from Tech Lovin' signing out. Take care.